so let's see the third video for Unit 3.4 about alterations in chewing and swallowing. We are going to see the adaptation of foods and what is the modified texture diet. In view of all the above, patients with acquired disabilities often present alterations in swallowing and or chewing. Therefore, they will need a change in their diet that allows them to eat efficiently or safely. Modified texture diets allow the texture of both solid and liquid foods to be adapted to the consistency tolerated by the patients through mechanical processes or the use of thickening substances. It's indicated in patients with dysphagia or chewing disorders. This diet has to be sensorially adapted in terms of smell, taste, and appearance and temperature. If we maintain these aspects, the diet will be pleasant in addition to being efficient and safe. We can adapt most foods knowing that by manipulating the solids, what we are doing is reducing the size of the piece, so it facilitates chewing and promotes the formation of the food bolus. When handling liquids, we change the viscosity, so we need to thicken it. The patient may have more time for the liquid in the mouth to prepare to swallow. Mixed textures must be homogenized. This is the case of ice cream, which becomes liquid in the mouth. As we have said, the adaptation of the solids is done by reducing the size of the bite, obtaining different textures from greater to smaller size of the piece. The smaller size, the less effort is required to chew and swallow. On the right, you have examples of the different textures, although you can also consult the IDDSI pyramid. Here is a list of solid foods that are often problematic. Some foods are dangerous in themselves because they can stick to the throat or clog the esophagus and cause the patient to choke. If the patient has bad experiences with food, he will likely develop an aversion to certain foods for fear of choking. The same happens with liquid foods. These have different viscosities. Currently, we find 5 different textures for liquids in the IDDSI pyramid. Although the best known are the nectar type, that is a low viscosity, the honey type with a moderate viscosity, and pudding type, which can only be eaten with a spoon. I recommend that you watch the explanatory video of how to get each of these textures on the IDDSI website. In addition, you have a written test on how to do it, which you see on the right. The mixed textures. They require to be unified before being consumed, since they require chewing and correct salivation for this consumption. This is the case of stews, soups with solid or soft ingredients, desserts, watery fruits, ice cream, or foods that melt in the mouth. In addition to those that alter salivation, such as acidic foods. The pros of a correct adaptation of food are expand the variety of foods, adjust the diet to the patient tastes, higher quality of life, greater autonomy and choice, reduce risk of aspiration, correct nutritional state, correct hydration, along with proper oral hygiene. It can improve gastrointestinal or digestibility problems. If the diet is not well adapted, restricted foods can be. It will not always be to the patient's liking, lower quality of life, less choice and autonomy, increase the risk of aspiration, malnutrition, and dehydration. So they are really serious consequences.